Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mongoose Traveler 2nd Edition Core Rulebook Update for 2022. Today, we are going to be talking about vehicles. Now, vehicles in Traveler are anything basically that's not in space. You know, it's ground, water, air, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about that. So when you land on a planet, you can have the stylist, most beautiful buggy ever.
Role-playing games thrive in fantastic worlds and at inclusive tables that embrace these core values for the most positive gaming experience. Donate to the Wounded Warrior Project via the link in the description below to help, honor, and empower our wounded heroes. On Thursdays and Saturdays, watch Heathen Dog's Dirty Casuals play multiplayer video games over on Twitch. On Sundays and Fridays, join us for tabletop role-playing game content on both YouTube and Rumble. Finally, please take a quick moment to like this video and share it with both your friends and on social media. If you have not done so, please subscribe to Legion of Myth and activate that bell icon to receive notifications of new content.
All right. Here we are. Beautiful Traveler cover. I actually like this cover. I don't know why, but for some reason, I just dig it.
I like the overall layout. I'm not sure I like that picture though.
Yeah, the faces are bad, but the ships are cool, and I like the background styles, but it's nice. I like it. All right, let's get to vehicles. There we are. From a simple horse-drawn cart to a jet fighter, from a bicycle to a multi-turreted super heavy grav tank, billions of vehicles exist across the galaxy. They serve as transportation systems that allow people to travel further, faster, while taking more with them. Sounds like Miniman. Travelers will come into contact with many vehicles of different types, and it is important to know how they function. All vehicles share some common characteristics. The example shown here is a simple ground car found on most low-tech industrialized worlds. Get my thinker. Okay, there we go. Movement, obviously. While the distance a traveler, alien, or animal can move is listed in meters per combat round, vehicles are capable of traveling much, much faster. For this reason, the rate at which a vehicle is moving is determined by a speed bands, as shown on the speed bands table. This table shows the relative speed each speed band represents in kilometers per hour for reference. Okay, we'll get to that in a second, I imagine. A vehicle may change its current speed by one speed band at the very start of every combat round if it is traveling at fast speed or less, or by one speed band every minute if it is traveling faster. Travelers on foot will typically use the idle band. Okay, it sounds like they're making complication where there doesn't have to be one, but okay. The speed band number is useful abbreviation of the speed bands and is used for some rules a little further on. So,
Well, I mean, to be clear, Palladium, I mean, doesn't do it like this exactly, but Palladium has speed factor as well.
Stopped, idle, very slow, supersonic, and hypersonic. Okay.
I think they work. I mean, those speed band numbers. I mean, I'd like to see how they work in play, but I mean, just looking at them there, they make sense. So.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. It's just I don't know if they needed to use it. Rough terrain. Oh, well, unless you're, have a grav tank or something like that. Rough terrain is going to come a thing. The listed speed for any ground vehicle is what is normally attainable on a relatively flat or even surface, such as road, grass, or track. If a ground vehicle, any vehicle that uses the drive skill, is taken off-road, the going will get more difficult. Any ground vehicle going off-road will suffer DM -2 to all checks to control it, and its maximum speed is reduced by 2 speed bands. 2. Some terrain is classed as rough and cannot be traversed at all by most ground vehicles. Rough terrain comprises heavy forest, very broken ground, hills, and 20 to 50% slopes, that's big, and similar ground.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize when they look at just a protractor, and they'll be like, "Look, 10% grade isn't that bad. Run up a 10% grade one time."
Yeah, if it's more than say 20 yards, you might not make it because you're a fat bastard, aren't you? A vehicle that is noted as being off-road capable or requires the drive track skill does not suffer any penalties when it is driven off-road and can even negotiate rough terrain with care. Such vehicles can cross rough terrain while suffering that -2 to all checks to control them and reducing their maximum speed by 2 speed bands. So, from what I get from this, a buggy can go off-road, but when you hit rough terrain, it can't. It's just too much. The ground is too uneven, the forest is too dense, stuff like that. But you get yourself a tank, huh? Yeah. And the forest is just a whole bunch of chopsticks that want to fall down at that point. So
You are slower, though.
yeah, you are slower, and you're still -2 speed bands even then. So, think how slow a tank moves. So a tank, I think, at maximum speed over flat ground is something
Depends on the
between
tank.
what? 60, 65, 70 tops, maybe?
Really depends on the tank. I think the M1, if I remember correctly, is around 60, but I might be wrong on that. I haven't looked it up in a long time.
Yeah. So if you look at our speed bands,
Isn't the new German Leopard 2 or 3 or whatever it is the fastest tank, if I remember correctly?
I do not know for sure.
Again, it's not something I've looked at or paid attention to in quite a long time. So,
okay, so let's say 60 miles an hour. That is 60, 96. So I'll say it's medium. Medium, that's medium speed, right? But if you're going through rough terrain, then it goes down by 2 to very slow, 20 to 50 kilometers per hour. We're talking like, what, 10 miles an hour? That's going to be crazy. Let's just say it's 30, put in the middle. That's 48 kilometers per hour. It's right. That's not great. That's not awesome. But hey, it's better than doing nothing, right? So I can dig it.
You're still moving.
Yeah, you're still moving. So shut your hole. And then there's airborne movement. Most aircraft vehicles that use the flyer skill are designed for a specific.
You rubbing that in?
Yeah, and planetary. Well, the reason they have to do that is because they specialize all of the skills.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying from the first video when we didn't know what flyer was and everybody's
exactly. They specialize everything: drive track, drive wheeled, drive grav, drive. It's all different. You can't just have a drive skill because they had to be too pedantic on this. Designed for specific atmosphere and gravity. This means aircraft can fly on worlds with size and atmosphere codes within 2 of their world of creation. So if let's say Earth is a grav, I don't know, size 5, atmosphere 5, it would only work between 3 and 7. After that, it wasn't made for the physics on that planet. Okay. Aircraft suffer a DM-1 to all checks made to control them if they are not within their home atmosphere and or size codes, and cannot fly at all if they're above the listed range, which is 2. In any case, aircraft require a minimum atmosphere of 1 in order to function. You need lift. If you got wings, you need lift. If you have propellers, you need lift. If you have no air, you can't have lift. That makes sense. Grav vehicles. Vehicles using the flyer. Here we go. Grav skill. Oh, it's a fly. It's not a drive. Okay. We still employ anti-gravity technology rather than the traditional methods of flight, and so are unaffected by atmosphere and size of. Oh, no, you can actually have an anti-grav plane, not just an anti-grav tank or whatever, or a car. Okay, that's cool. Ground car, conventional wheeled automobile. Makes sense. Equipment and weapons, entertainment system, nav system, basic. And then we have the stats of all vehicles. Let's see what they are. Equipment and traits. Any included equipment or special rules that are applied to the vehicle are in the equipment and weapons part. The lowest tech level the vehicle is available. Skill at which you need to drive it. Drive wheeled. Okay, for a ground car. Agility, how easy the vehicle is to drive or pilot. This is applied as a DM to all checks made to control the vehicle. So your agility will give you a bonus. This is applied as a DM. Yeah. How easy the vehicle is to drive.
Well, in this case, it'd be no bonus, but some, might have superior suspension and make them easier to keep control.
But does it go off of your agility stat? Would you get a bonus from that?
I would think so, yeah, because your agility, if you already have an agility bonus, absolutely. It's just in this case, because of the +0. So let's say you have agility +2. You would still roll agility +2. You just would be at +2 because you got another 0. Now, if this said also agility +2, you'd be rolling +4.
Oh, okay. All right. I get you now. Cruising speed and range cruise. The cruising speed is usually a sustainable speed. So its max speed is medium, but its sustainable long-term speed is slow. And the max range is 400 at max speed. But at cruise speed, You use less gas, you can go 600 kilometers. Okay.
So to be fair, I don't know how this game does it. Heath and Doug will probably get into that in a moment. But in most of the games that I've played that have like a flank speed or cruise speed, those kind of things, the flank speed usually requires either harder or just the addition of some sort of piloting control roll, where cruise speed is just you do what you want to do as long as you're not doing something dumb, you don't have to roll.
Right. And maybe that'll be here too. I don't know. Crew of 1, it's a car. You need 1 driver. Get it. Passengers 3. Okay. It's a 4-seater. Got it. Cargo, half a ton. It depends on your car. Hull 12. That is hull, a measure of how much damage the vehicle can sustain before it's destroyed or rendered inoperable. So 12 hits, I guess. Shipping, it weighs 3 tons. Okay. Cost $6,500. Damn, that's cheap. Armor has armor. Armor, similar to the armor worn by travelers, how well the vehicle can resist damage. 2, 2, and 2. Front, rear, and sides. Apparently, top is considered what? Front?
I don't know if there's a top at all. I mean, is that all of them? Well, yeah. Top and bottom then would probably just be wherever it happens to be.
This one's all glass, so I don't know. It probably wouldn't be great. Speed travel shows a maximum rate at which a vehicle can normally travel. The range will show the distance. However, most vehicles will rarely travel at their maximum speed and will instead cruise to maintain a better balance of speed and endurance. Like, don't want to run out of gas. The cruising speed of any vehicle is assumed to be 1 speed band lower than the vehicle's maximum speed, and if it maintains that rate of movement, its range will increase by 50%. I didn't see that. Did I see that here?
Hey, while you're doing that, let me hit the super chat. We got it a while ago.
Okay.
So the crafting, whoa, that's big on the screen now. Crafting gamer for $2 says helping.
Yeah, $2 helping. That's right. You do all the money on the PC.
What's that kid that from oh my god, Bart Simpsons. There we go. Yeah. I'm helping.
Oh yeah, the paste eater guy. I forget his name.
The paste eater guy. There you go. Well, Crafting Gamer is not a paste eater.
Right.
Thank you for your $2 donation. Okay, go ahead.
Combat in and on vehicles is much the same as ordinary combat, although there are some differences. Unlike people who are mobile and maneuverable, careful track must be kept of which way a vehicle is facing. Vehicle-mounted weapons, to a lesser extent, armed passengers, are restricted to certain firing arcs. That makes sense. I mean, if your passenger wants to shoot somebody, they're going to have a much harder time shooting someone on the driver's side, right?
I don't suggest doing that.
I like, oh no, lean back, open the window. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Don't do that. Vehicles are considered to move on the driver's initiative. The driver must spend a minor action every round to keep control of the vehicle under normal circumstances, a straight road or simple maneuver, or a significant action to navigate obstacles, conduct evasion, or pursue a target. Okay, so when you're driving any vehicle, it seems that you are using your minor action just to stay alive and not crash and die in a horrible wreck, even if you're on a completely flat road. I can see that. I can see that. I probably wouldn't put it in a game, but I could see that. Closed vehicles. Closed vehicles include typical cars, G/carriers, I don't know what that is, tanks and other vehicles with crew and passengers within a protective enclosed hull. All vehicles are assumed to be closed unless otherwise stated. Okay. Closed vehicles grant cover to any visible occupants with a bonus equal to the armor of the vehicle in the facing from which the attack originated. Any occupants not visible cannot be directly attacked at all. Only a few people in a closed vehicle can shoot out, depending on the number of windows or other firing ports and the internal space available. Unless the description mentions otherwise, up to 2 people can fire into each arc from a civilian vehicle and 1 person in each arc in a military one. Okay, good to know.
That's weird.
Open vehicles. Motorcycles, I imagine, are part of the open vehicle concept. Yep, motorbikes, air and rafts, and other vehicles where the occupants are exposed. Okay, you don't get any armor, but you can shoot anywhere, because there's nothing blocking you. Shoot anywhere. Vehicular actions. You can dogfight. A vehicle within 1 kilometer and within 1 speed band of one another may initiate a dogfight. This is a series of maneuvers whereby the driver of one vehicle attempts to gain a position of advantage over another and hopefully destroy it. Drivers of both vehicles make opposed skill checks using the skill appropriate to the vehicle, drive, fly, or seafarer, modified by their vehicle's agility as normal. Doesn't say anything about your agility. It just says the vehicle's agility. Okay. For every additional enemy engaging in the dogfight, a DM -1 is applied. It is harder to keep track of more enemies. A draw means that neither vehicle may attack the other unless it possesses a weapon in a turret. The winner may choose to place their opponent's vehicle in a fire arc of their choice and may choose which of the opposing vehicle's fire arcs their own vehicle lies in. Okay. I get it. So if two people are dogfighting, and in this game, dogfighting is the same thing as combat driving.
Yeah, crash up derby.
Yeah, just use one term for it. If you win this agility roll for dogfighting, you get to choose how you are facing their vehicle and how their vehicle is facing you. So I imagine you'd choose the most advantageous for you. I would imagine that would be the way. In this way, the winner of a dogfight can ensure all their forward-facing weapons can attack their enemy and stay out of the enemy's forward-facing. In addition, the winner of a dogfight gains a DM +2 to all their attack rolls for this round, while the loser, oh my God, it's even worse. So not only if you're the loser, not only are your best weapons not pointed at the enemy, and their best weapons they get a hit bonus to hit you and you get a minus to hit them. That sucks. Make that dogfight roll. Don't fail that. If one of the vehicle's drivers chooses to initiate a dogfight again in the following combat round, the winner of the previous dogfight applies the difference between that round's opposed check as a positive DM. Oh my God. So if you win, it just wants you to keep winning. And if you lose, the game wants you to keep losing.
It might seem severe, but I think it actually makes sense. I know some gamist people will probably be like, well, that's BS, man, because it pretty much just means that if you start losing, you're going to lose. Yeah. Look at police officers and pit maneuvers. Look at World War II combat pilots. Once they pretty much have the advantage,
they win. That's it. They win. But in a game, again, man, in reality, yeah, that works just like that. But in a game, it seems like it's demoralizing. But you have evasive actions. Maybe that'll help. The driver may declare that they are taking evasive action when their turn arrives. How many theys do you need in the first 2 sentences of a paragraph? Seriously. They make a skill check, skill being determined by the type of vehicle, and do not forget to apply the vehicle's agility with an explanation. Look at that. That's important. It's important now. And the effect acts as a negative DM to all attacks against the vehicle or its passengers. The effect also acts as a negative DM to any attacks made from that vehicle as well, as a sudden movement will make aimed attacks difficult. This lasts until the driver's next action. So if you are losing, you lost your dogfight, you took some damage, you're probably not going to win the next dogfight, just evasive action. They can't hit you and you can't hit them. At least you're not dead. And the next round is something where something else can happen, right? Yeah, there you go. Maneuver.
I was going to do that too. Maneuvery.
Maneuvery.
Screw the Brits. Go ahead.
A driver can maneuver their vehicle without making any skill checks. This allows the vehicle to avoid large or obvious obstacles, get to where it's going, move out of the line of fire of an enemy arc, whatever, or change the fire arc of a single target. More extreme maneuvers are covered by the stunt action. Okay. Ram. Oh, here's Max's favorite thing. Deliberately driving a vehicle into someone or something requires a significant action and a successful skill check. Ram attacks are affected by dodging and evasive action as normal. The referee may grant bonuses to the ram attempt or declare it automatically successful if the target is particularly large or stationary. Yeah, that makes sense. Stunt. Here we go. This is a very, very hard maneuver. With a successful skill check, the driver or pilot can do pretty much anything it is possible to do in their vehicle. Stand a car up on 2 wheels, perform stunning aerobatics in a jet fighter, or skim a speedboat over a low sandbar. A stunt can be used to put a single target into one additional fire arc for 1 round, putting an enemy into both front and rear fire arcs by spinning a car, for example. That'd be awesome. I could dig that. To set up some other skill check, often allowing passengers to line up weapons, using the rules for task chains on page 63. To achieve something that would normally be difficult or impossible in a vehicle, driving down an alley too narrow for the car by flipping it onto 2 wheels, to achieve up to 3 maneuver actions in one go, just to show off, or anything else you can imagine. The referee is free to set the difficulty of the check to reflect the attempted action. Okay. No, I like this. I like this a lot. You know, this is a French Connection driving, or
Yeah.
this is Top Gun Maverick flying. You know.
I like the fact that it has options. So you have your dogfighting options. You have your maneuver. What was the one? The escape? No. Basic
Basic,
maneuvers. There we go. The English. You have your stunts. I like the fact that it gives options. That's a
yes.
good thing, and you can look at your situation and determine which one's the best for you at that time.
Yes, I like that a lot. And it gives the game master all of the target numbers and stuff like that. They're not listing anything. Hey, whatever, however difficult you think it is. And I like that because what if your character is a professional driver? I would imagine the game master would make the checks easier, right? Because you're used to doing this. You're
Well,
trained.
that would probably just come from your plus DM and your
Well,
skill roll.
I know, but you know, I've been driving for 32 years. But against even a rookie professional driver, our training does not add up. You know, my experience does not counteract his year of training. My 32 years of experience does not counteract his 1 year of training. So me personally, that's what I would do. Weave. In an attempt to, with many obstacles, such as inner city or tight underground caverns, a driver may pilot or choose to weave their vehicle in and out. Serpentine. That's what you're doing, serpentine. The driver chooses a weaving score between 1 and their current speed band number and must then make a skill check, skill determined by vehicle, with the weaving score as a negative DM on this check. If they fail, they've driven or flown into an obstacle and crashed. If succeed, any pursuers must also choose a weave action in their turn and make the skill check at the same penalty with the same consequences of failure. Alternatively, they can choose to break off pursuit and either give up or try to reacquire the target later. I wish you gave us more. I wish it gave us more. So, okay, first blush, reading this for the first time, let's say you are speed band 3, right? And you want to weave. The driver chooses a weaving score between 1 and their current speed band number. Screw it. I'm going all out. 3. So everyone has to make a weave check at -3. Those who fail, crash. And if if your pursuers choose not to make that weave check, they have to disengage. They lose engagement at that point, and they have to reacquire. So they can't attack or do anything like that. That's pretty cool. I like that. Then it goes into vehicle weapons, vehicle mounted weapons, front, back, sides, or turret. You know, and you may have a turret that only does 90 degrees, turret that does 180. Maybe you have a 360 turret, so it doesn't matter. But it will matter for a lot of guns. Usually in games, the heavier the gun, the less firing arc it has. So here are your fire arcs: 90 front, 90 back, 90 left, right, 360, fixed mount forward, fixed mount rear. So it can only fire in the forward or rear firing arc. Or directly in front. Sorry, it says forward facing firing arc, but unlike this arc, it just says forward. So I don't know. Damaging vehicles. Once the total amount of damage a weapon is causing has been calculated, any armor the vehicle has is deducted. Some vehicles have different armor scores and on different facings. That's fair. The armor used against a weapon is always the facing the attack is made from. There are damage total removed from the vehicle's hull. When the vehicle reaches 0 hull, it's wrecked and becomes totally inoperable and normally beyond any repair, though parts may be salvaged. Okay, so your vehicle goes at 100% until it's not. That's what I'm reading here. You're at 100% functionality until
Well,
you're...
I'm sure those critical hit locations that you're about to get into might change that.
Maybe so, but...
I think based on just hull number, yes.
Yeah. And if it gets to 0 at any point, it is wrecked. You can't fix it. It's wrecked. You need a new one. You may be able to salvage a tire or a gun or something, but you're never going to make that thing go again. Vehicle armor, we know what armor does. Light weapons carried in multiple troubles such as pistols, rifles, lasers are not well suited to destroying vehicles. Against any weapon that has less than 4D or has a stun trait, the vehicle will have an extra amount of armor equal to its tech level on each facing. Okay, so this is interesting. The ground car tech level was 8. So any light weapon, which is a weapon that is carried by most travelers, pistols, rifles, and lasers, that's 4D or less, or has the stun trait, the vehicle's armor is 10. This car is armor, it's 10. 2 for the regular armor, and then 8 because of its tech level. I like that. It incentivizes travelers to spend more money on bigger guns. Large vehicles. Vehicles by their nature tend to be large machines that are much easier to hit than a ducking traveler. Fair. Attack rolls against vehicles gain a DM +1, plus an additional 1 for every 10 tons of their shipping score to a maximum of DM +6. Okay. All right. So the bigger it is, the easier it is to hit. I get it. And here we go to your critical hits. If an attack roll against a vehicle has an effect of 6 or higher and it causes damage, and
so has two criteria.
Yes. So if you shoot a 357 at a tech level 8 car, the 357 does what? 2D? If you're lucky. That means I have armor 10. And even if you got an effect of 6 to hit me, like 6 above what you needed, you have to roll damage. So that means you have to get a 10, 11, or 12. No, 11 or 12. You have to get a 5 and a 6 or a 6 and a 6 to actually, for that critical hit to mean anything. You have to do 1 point of damage at least. Let's see what it does. Location, fuel, power plant, weapon, armor, hull, cargo, occupants, drive system, or random systems. I think fuel and power plant would be the same thing, right? I mean, no. This would be like gas and engine. Okay. Got it. Any extra damage caused by the effects of critical hits, ignore the vehicle's armor because they're internal damage. If a vehicle has already sustained a critical hit to a location that receives another, use the severity of the new critical hit or the original one +1, whichever is higher. What does it do? I think I skipped the part. The severity of critical hit is equal to the effect of the attack roll -5. Remember, you have to have at least 6. Consult the critical hits table, and usually you're going to hit fuel, really. I mean, ideally. But it doesn't exactly say what it does. I didn't see what it...
Yeah, so Timothy Farley says go back to armor.
Go back to armor? Unless otherwise stated, all vehicles have use half their value of their side armor against attacks on the roof. Oh, okay. Oh, that's for the roof and the bottom, top and bottom. Half the value of the side armor. Okay. Or rear armor. Side armor against attacks on the roof and half value of the rear armor against attacks from the floor. Okay, well, that's good to know. I wish I knew about the critical hits, though. Sustained damage. A vehicle will also have its components degraded through sustained constant damage. Every time a vehicle sustains damage equaling 10% of its starting hull score, roll 2D and then consult the critical hits table location. The vehicle will suffer a severity 1 critical hit to that location. Oh, here we go. Severity level and that location. So you rolled and you got you made your hit by 8. So -5, that's 3. So let's say you have to roll the location. Let's say you roll a 7.
You want me to roll?
Yeah, go ahead and roll 2d6.
I got a 6.
Armor. Okay. So armor, severity 3. Armor on the facing hit reduced by 1d. So you roll a 6-sided and minus that permanently from armor on that facing.
2.
Okay, so if you shot my car and you got this critical hit, I would lose all the armor on that side of my car. That's not so bad. I mean, it's bad for a protracted battle.
I was going to say, it might not be so bad just for that one shot, but that is bad because now you have a glaring weakness that...
Yes. And it's obvious to everyone. So yeah, okay, I like that. I like that a lot. And of course, there's collisions because you got to play chicken in every game, right? When a vehicle collides with something else, a traveler, another vehicle, an obstacle, both take damage. Roll 1d for every speed band number the vehicle was traveling at during the time of impact. This is applied as damage directly to anything hit, and if the object struck is solid enough, also to the ramming vehicle. If it's solid enough, that's the big one. In a head-on collision between two vehicles, the speed band numbers are added together to calculate the... Well, yeah, I mean, you add both speeds together, that's the That's the speed you're actually crashing into. Any unsecured passengers in a vehicle damaged in a collision take the same damage, and in open vehicles are thrown 10 meters for every speed band number. Whee! Damage to passengers involved in collisions, ignore any personal armor because, you're getting banged around. Secured passengers are not thrown anywhere and take 1/4 damage. Okay. Now, I wish it said if object struck is solid enough, it also damages the ramming vehicle. It never defined what solid enough is. I mean, I know for a fact that if I hit anything with my car that's dog size or less, I'm fine. Nothing's going to happen. But you hit a deer, well, that's different. And the car's going to take some damage. That deer might go in my face through the windshield and kill me dead.
So I don't need that defined. I think that's good for a game master to have. It just gives you enough information there to say, hey, if it's solid enough, and you can make the decision. I mean, would a tech level 14 vehicle be hurt by a deer? Probably not. Tech level 8? Well, looks like yes. Especially as somebody who grew up in Minnesota and saw a lot of deer accidents, those things can total your car.
Oh yeah. Newer cars, especially a 1950s Land Arc, I think it would break a couple of plastic parts.
Well, also difference between a truck and a compact and so forth. I mean, so because what I think would happen is that the rule would say something like, if it's tech level, blah, 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 and then it's no effect. Well, then that means your hatchback, your little Pinto, has no issues. Like, no, that doesn't make sense. So I like that it's open enough for the game master or referee in this case to say that's going to hurt your vehicle, or you know what, we're just going to roll one heck of a random possible chance for a critical hit and move on. Because, maybe you just hit it the wrong way and a broken axle or something like that. Sure. You see what I'm saying? Like the point is I like the idea that it is vague.
I wish they would have said this up to the game master, but okay, I get it. Repairing vehicles. Remember, you cannot repair a vehicle that's been brought to zero hull. You can't. It already stated that. It's destroyed. It's done. Anything greater than zero, it can be repaired, and these are the rules to do that. Vehicle weapons, we have cannon, heavy machine gun, laser cannon, light auto cannon. Hot damn, that's a lot of stuff. Large caliber gun, laser cannon, light auto cannon, a 25 millimeter calibre, that's it. Designed to destroy light vehicles and massed infantry. I imagine light auto cannon and laser cannon are double Ds. Vehicle equipment, aquatic drive. Okay. Cool. Oh no, this is like you put a snorkel on it and it could go, a certain amount in the water and be completely fine. Autopilot, I like that. Communications, okay, put a CB in there. That's cool. Entertainment system, everyone loves to have TV in the back, right? Everyone's got to have those for the kids, man. You got to have it. Navigation, I got to have that.
Me too.
Yeah, I got to have
I get lost in a box, man.
Yep. Off-road sensors, a little more than headlights and a pair of binoculars, but as technology increases, like Tesla, LiDAR and stuff like that, and then gets more into actual like Star Trek sensors and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Short-term life support. Okay. A turret. Okay. So you have to buy a turret and then buy a gun to put on the turret. Okay. That's cool. Cost 10 grand. Whew, for every ton. God damn. Then we got weapons, sensors, basic sensors, turret. Then we have rafts, or, open top vehicles supported by anti-grav technology, air/raft. I don't know what this means. Air rafts are capable of reaching orbit, but passengers must still wear vac suits. They are ubiquitous, remarkably reliable, and flexible vehicles. Okay.
Sounds like just a survival pod.
It says ubiquitous. That means that everyone's got to have one, right? Crew 1, passenger 0. Okay. ATV, all-terrain vehicle. 175,000? Jesus, does it make like cocoa or something? What the hell? It's a four-wheeler, man. Get over it. Jesus.
Well, look at the armor. Look at the armor.
Okay. Well,
it's more of an APC instead of an
ATV.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call that an ATV. I'm sorry, brother. That's not what we're talking about. That's the Brutus heavy cargo truck while lacking glamour. Okay. Brutus heavy cargo.
I'm buying it just for the name.
Yeah. Cargo lifter. Oh, it's Ripley.
Ripley.
Yep, right there. There it is.
No copyright infringement there at all.
Nope, not at all. No copyright infringement because they decided, I guess they didn't copyright it because that looks exactly how I remember Ripley's thing. Maybe
I'm pretty sure you can't copyright that anyway. It's just,
yeah, it's a generic exoskeleton lifter thing. So that's funny. What else we got? Oh, these are obviously racing cars or racing bikes or trikes or whatever you want to call them. Gun skiff. That's probably this one. That looks gun skiffy to me.
Okay.
Oh, there's your big buggy.
Well, there's my Jabba's battle barge or whatever.
Jabba's palace. Yeah, Jabba's floating palace. Yeah, that's what that is. That's funny. That is funny. Personal land yacht. That's probably what this is. That's nice. Look at look at this. It even has the old Navy old timey steering wheel thing. What do you call it?
The rudder.
The rudder system. I forget what it's called though. Oh look, wind power.
Hey, you know what? That's when you're out of fuel, stuck in the desert.
This is what you got. You know, show me what you got. Well, I got a land boat. That's what I got.
Show me what you've got.
Exactly. So that is all for vehicles. Now, did I read every single word? No, you didn't need it. I didn't need to read every word of every vehicle on there, but you have the gist of how vehicles work, how they function, how to use them, maneuvers and all. So I hope you got a lot out of it. Next, we are going into spacecraft operations to figure out how we're going to use spacecraft the way we figured out how to use vehicles. But before then, let's take a look at some chat.
I didn't have too much that I started here at the beginning. Malachi says, my damn Rifts game is going through Dinosaur Swamp and finding Disney. Okay, I guess I didn't need to start that one. I don't know why. That should have been for...
You find Disney World, man. That is a lot of pre-Rifts entertainment. That is probably going to get you a lot of money.
I should have saved that for the Dinosaur Swamp segment, though. And we won't be talking about Disneyland, but you'll understand the importance of what he said right there. Chris Peterman became a YouTube member. Thank you very much. Our memberships have been shooting up, and I thank everybody for that. Not to be fair, a lot of them are gifted memberships, but hey, you know what? They all work the same, and we thank you guys for popping out those gifts. Vansel's Everything says there's no agility stat for characters. Characters have decks, so there's no duplicate.
Oh, okay, so it's just the agility of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And these dogfight rules make having a wingman important.
Yes. And you know what? When I was younger, I used to wonder why, like watching Top Gun, like stay with your wingman. I always wondered why. They didn't explain it that well in the movie. But as I went in the Air Force and I talked to a couple of pilots and then, years later experience and stuff like that, I'm like, oh yeah, you need a wingman because you are busy pushing your enemy into a corner, getting them out of position for your wingman to take the shot and get the kill. I get it. And you're absolutely right. A wingman is vital, especially in a game with hyper-realism. Is that it?
Yeah, that's everything. Let me put
the subscribe. There it is. Subscribe, please. And if you're watching this on Memorex, then in a couple of days you're gonna see the spacecraft operations. But if you're watching live, you get to see it right now. So what are you gonna do next Sunday, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, I'll tell you what they're gonna do next Sunday. In between videos, so that means you have to watch a live stream tonight.
Oh no! Oh, sorry, Memorex people.